All right, the adrenals provide adrenaline and cortisol, testosterone, and many other hormones. Many. It's unbelievable. There's like 19 hormones. You know, we know some of these, but there are a lot of just like H6, 9, 8, 13. I mean, there's all these funny little names for the hormones because there's so many, and they're in these bigger ones, and then these, it's kind of like a tree when you see all of the things that come out of the adrenals. It's unbelievable. We're going to ask for chemistry function when we do adrenal healings, and you don't need to know what all the chemicals are. The adrenaline and cortisol are ones that are often talked about. Testosterone, a little bit comes out of there in ovaries for women, and testosterone primarily, though, comes out of the testes for men. But women have testosterone too, and so we need that functioning. When my adrenals failed, I stopped having testosterone in my body, and how that looks for a woman, because I probably didn't have a lot to begin with, but I no longer had the ability to get out of bed. You wouldn't be able to actually function and work without some testosterone. You know, so you don't have the oomph to get up and go. So just a tiny bit, women need a tiny bit of testosterone to function. And then if testosterone, since we're talking about it, is an imbalance for women, you'll notice that at one point you had a lot of a sex drive, and then you don't have much of a sex drive. When the testosterone dissipates in a woman, she may not be able to have orgasms after she'd had years of being orgasmic. And so we want to restore a level of testosterone for a woman so that she has both the get up and go and the ability to have orgasms again. Think about the gland as a power plant. Oh, so it is a veritable chemistry factory, and for the two small acorns, acorn shapes with hat glands, they have a big workout cut out for them. They're responsible for survival energy, and you can think about it as our power plant. When I have done workshops in the past and done like a day on the endocrine system, I call them the PG&E plant of the body. So they're really providing the power to like run the system, like run. Not necessarily run the systems, but run. So if you need to run away from the saber-toothed tiger, that's where you're going to get the power from. If you need to be up at 3 in the afternoon, that's where you're going to get the power from. If you're tired, the adrenals are going to provide you with the oomph, or not, for get up and go. So rather than being dependent on energy drinks, you just keep doing healings on your adrenals, and that gets you the energy for the 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock slump. And this is one of those glands that is not keeping up with evolution. So the adrenals were in our body to give us a sudden burst when we were running away from the saber-toothed tiger. So that was the entire function, was just a big burst. It would spit out cortisol. So if we had to run for 3 days and we couldn't eat, we'd have the fat on our body because it would hold on to fat so that we could keep running until we got away from all the tigers and all the bears that were chasing us and our family. And we could carry the babies while we were running for 3 days. And that's what the adrenals were meant to do for us. They were meant to give us a sudden burst and sustained burst for as long as we needed adrenaline. You've all felt adrenaline, right? Unfortunately, the bings and dings and phone ringing and computer sounds, honking, horns, anything, everything brings us into our survival brain, our reptilian brain, and will stimulate the adrenals. A action movie will get the adrenals. You'll get your, you know, people go to the movies for adrenaline rush, right? They want to feel better, they want to like get some chemistry going, they go to a scary or an intense movie where you're like, there's a big chase. Adrenals are meant to be used 2 or 3 times a month. Think about using them 100 times a day. Right. And so why do adrenals fail? I mean, they're doing the best they can. I look at them with tremendous empathy and try to have as much peace and quiet in my world as I possibly can, so that everything I can do to take any kind of alarms or anything that would stimulate them coming on, I've tried to really control that. The next home I live in won't be by a freeway. You know, I don't have any alarms in my house. There's ringing, but it's music. It's do 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 do, or it's harp music. You know, anything that comes on isn't going to stimulate my adrenals. So you really need to make a conscious effort if you want healthy adrenals in this culture. All the things I've shared with you today about the hormone system, the adrenals will put you down and leave you down. There is no medical solution. The miraculous healings are the solution. There is no medical solution. When doctors have diagnosed adrenal failure, if you get to the point of failure, you will not get better if you're in medical care. There's no choice they have. There's a book called Healing Adrenal Fatigue by a chiropractor who goes into great detail about nutritional things you can do to help, and that will help. But what we have here will completely heal you of that issue.